Everybody says don't rely on tropes, but here's the twist. You probably already are. Every writer does. The trick isn't avoiding them, it's about choosing them wisely. In today's video, we are breaking down some of the best tropes for writing fantasy romance. The ones that make stories feel rich, addictive, and emotionally charged. We'll look at why these tropes work so well, how they create tension or tenderness, and how you can make them feel like your own. Because fantasy romance is a balancing act. It's magic, it's world building, danger, and love all tied together. But at the heart of it, it's emotion. And tropes are one of the fastest ways to tap into that emotion. They're not cliches by default. They're patterns of storytelling that help readers instantly connect. We'll go over 6 tropes that pair perfectly with fantasy romance, plus one bonus trope that isn't strictly romantic, but it makes your fantasy romance 10 times stronger. First up, we have forbidden love. 2 people who are absolutely not supposed to be together, should not be together, but they cannot stay apart. This one thrives on tension and impossible choices. Think Ariel and Eric in The Little Mermaid, torn between the sea and the surface world, or Aragorn and Erwin in Lord of the Rings, where love defies lifespans and duty. The reason readers love this trope isn't just because it's forbidden, it's because every moment feels like rebellion. Every glance is a risk, every kiss could change the world. It's powerful because it marries emotion and stakes. Love becomes a choice with big consequences, and those consequences keep readers turning pages. The next trope is power dynamics. Love between unequals, queens and guards, fae and mortals, rulers and rebels. It's the tension between who holds power and who challenges it. For example, Jude and Carradine in The Cruel Prince constantly test the line between rivalry and obsession. Or Belle and the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, where gentleness reshapes dominance. This trope works when both characters have something that the other doesn't. Wisdom, strength, freedom, compassion. Love forces them to see beyond status, beyond rank, and beyond their own fears. It's not about dominance, it's about transformation. Through love, each character risks giving the other power over them, and that vulnerability is what makes the connection feel authentic. Now let's talk about reluctant companions. The fine, I guess we have to work together duo. They clash on everything. The plan, the goal, maybe even their own morality. Think Rapunzel and Flynn from Tangled, where constant banter slowly becomes trust. Or Ildiko and Brishan in Radiance, learning respect through survival. At first, they're opposites who can't find common ground, but quests have a funny way of forcing honesty. Somewhere between sarcastic arguments, close calls, and shared victories, they start to see each other differently. The beauty of this trope is the slow build. It's the journey from irritation to trust. The moment they realize they'd rather walk through fire together than survive out there alone. That's the real spark that readers are dying for. All right, let's move into the big one, and my personal favorite, enemies to lovers. Pride meets prejudice, ideals collide, swords, daggers, emotions. Everything comes out swinging. You can see this in Violet and Xaden from Fourth Wing, where their animosity gets burned away from new truths and shared danger. Or with Jake and Neytiri in Avatar, where hate flips into respect before they even realize it's love. It's the ultimate story of perspective. Both characters believe they're right until love forces them to reconsider what right even means. The transformation from hatred to desire works best when both sides feel justified. When their conflict isn't about misunderstanding, but about deeply held beliefs. Readers fall for this trope because they get to watch love emerge from chaos. It's messy and very human, and that's why they root for them. Next up, we have fairy tale retellings. You're not just rewriting a story, you're reinventing meaning. These tropes pull readers in with nostalgia, but they hook them with surprise. Modern versions like Neon Gods, which is a seductive spin on Hades and Persephone, or Hooked, which is a dark reimagining of Peter Pan, show how classics still hold power today. We all know the beats of Beauty and the Beast and Romeo and Juliet, but when you twist those expectations, you shift the setting, change the rules, reimagine who holds the power, that's where readers discover why the story still matters. A great retelling doesn't copy, though. It converses with the original. It says, let's look again. What does this story mean today? And finally, we have fated mates. Two souls bound by destiny. They're drawn together by something cosmic like prophecy, magic, fate. Think Elena and Damon, well, plus Stefan, in The Vampire Diaries, where they're pulled together by fate and magic. Or Isolde and Adrian in King of Battle and Blood, where prophecy turns into passion. What makes this trope work isn't the destiny, it's their resistance to it. Let them question the bond. Let them wonder whether fate chose wrong. When they finally choose each other, even knowing they were destined, it feels earned, not forced. Love becomes both a calling and a choice. So now I want to know what's your favorite romantasy trope to read or to write. Drop an emoji below in the comments. Let's see what trope reigns supreme. Okay, remember that bonus trope I promised earlier? The one that strengthens every romance story from the shadows? That's found family. This trope turns two characters in love into part of something much bigger, a makeshift family of misfits, allies, and ride or die companions. Think the inner circle from A Court of Thorn and Roses, the dregs from Six of Crows, or even Aang's crew in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It adds emotional depth because suddenly the story isn't just about who you love, it's about who you belong to. Found family gives your romance context. They're the voices cheering, teasing, threatening to burn down kingdoms if somebody gets hurt within that circle. They give readers comfort and contrast and a sense of home inside of all the calamity. When your world feels dangerous, the found family grounds it. And when love blooms inside that circle, it feels even more powerful. And if you're feeling inspired to start using tropes in your own fantasy romance, don't stop here. Check out this next video. That's where we take everything we just talked about and figure out how to actually make it work on the page. So grab your notes and click here to keep watching.